Hi everybody, it's been a while. It's been about a month. Um, but I'm back. Middle school parent I am, and I'm a middle school teacher. And this is called Steph's Middle School Souffle. This I'm on series 2. I'm ending today. This was about sixth graders, and I'm on episode 13, and I want to talk about the last parenting type because I think that's where I left off. And that's authoritarian parenting. So my next series, which I'll probably start tomorrow, is Summertime with Middle Schoolers. What do you do with them? Ages 10 to 13 even specifically. They're too young to have a job. I'll talk about mom school, get off your butts episode, chores, enrichment, maybe work on social skills with other family members if you go on vacations. So as middle school parents, it's tough. It's really, really, really tough. It takes a village, and two parents are ideal, and to be on the same team is important. If you're an only parent or a single parent, find support. This is an age you will need support. You, parent, will need some breaks. This is more of a business rather than a romance at this parenting stage. You're dealing with a lot of flare-ups, a lot of emotions, a lot of hormones, a lot of growth spurts. And to be on each other's team, I can't say that enough. Teaming with parenting in your village is so crucial to this stage. Recognize that this stage is very intense, yet it is short. I just got to spend time with my wonderful niece and nephew, who are now going into 9th grade and 11th grade. And they're wonderful humans. They were so helpful, had great manners. And during the middle school phase, that wasn't the case so much. So to see that growth, and I haven't seen them for a while, is like, wow, wow, you made it through. You're actually like really cool human beings, and I'm so proud of you. It was awesome to be able to witness that. Structure is best at this age. Schedule is best for this age. It gives them a sense of safety to grow. Teach responsibility, parents, organization, and coping. Those things are needed most at this age. Do you see this? This is the recycle symbol. This is my reteach symbol. Reteach, reteach, reteach. Just when you think they've got it, they don't. Reteach, 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 reteach. Be there, have patience. And parents, you need to take breaks and just breathe when dealing with so much intensity. Sometimes you're going to have to walk away because they're not going to make any sense. I call it a spell. Silas just had a spell over the week. Just was irrational. My family members were like, what the heck is going on? And then the next morning he pops out of bed and he's just fine, like nothing ever happened. I don't know. All right, so let's talk about authoritarian parenting today. The last episode I did authoritative, and I talked about my husband and that he's a really great parent, and he does those things that are authoritative parenting, and they're good parenting. We talked about permissive parenting, and those are the parents that make so many excuses for their child and let their child do whatever, and they hover their child, and then the uninvolved, they don't care. So today I'm going to talk about this one, authoritarian parenting. I have the most experience with this one as a child, and probably as a teacher too. I tend to be more authoritarian, which has flaws. So here's an authoritarian parent from a personal perspective. I was raised a lot in this type of parenting household. A parent's motive or function is either fear, they're very fearful or anxious, or they'll want power and control over their children. A child raised with an authoritarian parent, the pro is this child is a master of hard work, usually. Hard work ethic. They perform, not for themselves, but they perform for the parent. and they'll perform way better than others. It depends on what the parent wants the child to do. If the parent's like, you're going to get all A pluses or else, okay, that child is going to strive for that A pluses because they're scared of the what else. This child, a pro is they learn obedience and responsibility very early. They follow rules. The con, though, is that a child lacks critical thinking and creativity. They're not allowed to be curious or to fail. And that puts a lot of pressure on that child. They learn to stay in like this box. And it's hard for them to get out of the box and explore and be adventurous. A child learns that their voice does not matter very much. Again, they're only there to perform for that parent. Fearful and anxious children, they tend to be fearful and anxious, and then later on they'll become fearful and anxious adults. And a child may be emotionally, verbally, or physically abused in this parenting style. Because again, it's either out of fear or power and control. As a teacher, I tend to be most comfortable as an authoritarian teacher, and I've really had to strive to be more authoritative because I was raised in this. I have a fear of failure, or I want to control the situation because I am fearful of failing. So the pro, though, I have a lot of pros as this type of teacher. I have great classroom management in my class, and I provide safety for students. My students usually perform because I push and push and push, and I really value obedience and being responsible. Obedience, you be responsible, and there are really good things with those values. This type of teaching works best for students who need a lot of structure also. It does work for some students very well. The con, though, and I've had a couple students say this, and this is part of my growth as a teacher. Miss Helmer, you don't allow us to critically think for ourselves. And to be creative. So I've really had to go through this learning curve with me as a teacher, and coming from where I grew up and what I'm most comfortable being around, and let go of control. It's a control piece for me. Students feel that they might not have a voice, and students may not like coming to your class or refuse to come to class out of fear or anxiety or not being able to be creative. So again, I have been through this growth mindset about letting go of control in my classroom and let the students explore on their own. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I'm most comfortable with this type of teaching and parenting, and I've had to grow through the years. This is not easy. But I have seen the flaw in it as a parent and as a teacher. So two things happen at school, and this is where I fell in, okay? So your child, let's say I'm the teacher, your child will come to me if they have authoritarian parents and say, oh, Miss Helmer, did you see that I got this grade fix? Did you see that I turned it in? Can you grade it now? It needs to be bumped up, not from like a 97%, but I need 100% on that. So please, please, please get to it now. And they continually check their grades because they want to perform. They're not performing for themselves at times, they're performing for their parent. They don't want to make their parent upset. Okay, the second thing that can happen. So, they do not respect teachers who are not authoritarian type of people. So, if they come from a household that is constantly barking at them or controlling their kid, they come to school and they'll listen to me because I bark at them and parent the same way that authoritarian parents do. But the teachers who are more authoritative and awesome and allow them to explore, they tend to not do very well, or they do not respect that teacher. Their outlet could become school, and they see school as a party place and a place to be naughty. And then they'll be good at home and perform at home because they're scared of their parent. At school, they're not scared of the teacher because the teacher cannot touch them. Okay, the teacher's not supposed to physically or verbally or emotionally control them. So that's their outlet. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's flip-flop. The party is at school, and at home I behave. So that could potentially happen with an authoritarian, yelling, controlling parent. Okay, so if I had to rate these and rank them, of course, number 1 is the authoritative parent, the authoritative teacher, the village that does this: clear expectations, definite rules, and is supportive and consistent, scheduled, structured. This one, authoritarian, it has definite pros and cons. This one could potentially create fearful, anxious children, or the child will only listen to the parent and not the teacher because they see the teacher as being weak. Permissive. This parent makes constant excuses for their child and they hover them. Your child, if you're this, may turn into an A+ brat with little friendships, really poor friendships. People are not going to want to be this child's friend. I have seen it with my own eyes. You don't give consequences. You hover over your child. You hover over your teacher. You let them do whatever they want. Not cool. Don't do that. This one, uninvolved. Seriously, you need some help if you're going to do this uninvolved parenting type. Now, ASAP, you are making serious damage to society, your child, everyone. Be involved. All right, so I am going to just review, and then I'm going to shut this series down. When you're parenting, keep it simple. Clear expectations at this age. Be available for a planner and homework checked daily. Check your child's grades twice a week. Talk to your child first about their learning and friends. Create specific chores. Follow a schedule. Keep short and simple expectation. You don't have to talk a ton. In fact, it's probably preferred from your child you don't talk a ton at this age. Don't talk a ton. Talk a ton. Definite rules. Academics first, chores second. I don't know, whatever you prefer, one or the other. I would say both, but you can rank one or the other. Praise is rewarded and sincere. Consequences will result when academics or chores are not completed. Make consequences enforceable, and punishment should be impactful to your specific child. Again, Silas, he loves his friends, so if he is punished, I will take away his friend time. With JC loves watching her Bunked or Disney shows. No TV. And finally, be supportive. Please have expectations for academics and chores, and remember you're going to have to reteach. Have car conversations or listen to music together. You don't have to talk a ton, but don't have them on their phones. Stop using the phones and the videos or whatever in the car so much. If it's a short trip, you should be talking and listening to music together. Okay. Go on family trips together, attend all parent-teacher conferences, play together, give one-on-one time to each child, and have a ritual. Terry likes to take them to ice cream. I don't. That's special for them. Again, I'm going to keep coming at you with summer and just child development. So here it is, Steph's Middle School Souffle.